Hi, my name is Ruta and you're watching 100 Days Hair Diary, which is 100 days of good hair days. And what I'm doing in this, I'm using a book of 100 good hair days to actually redo all hairstyles they have in there. And I also do my mood diary because I am very much passionate about authentic emotional expression and also for normalizing all the feelings and the waves and the emotional notions that we go through. So inseparate part of life. So might as well do it. So today actually we have quite challenge for my particular hair type because the hairstyle is called straightened waves. So, and this is best for fine or frizzy hair. And what we need in here, they say hair clips, comb and straighteners and light spray if your hair doesn't hold very well. And basically this is kind of like you use hair straighteners to straighten, to curl your hair, and you don't really curl the end of the hair. But I'm gonna do it in a slightly different way because one, I don't have hair straightener. I gave it to my sister and she's not in UK and the hair straightener is with her in London. And I will be using actually slightly different methods. So the idea of straightened waves actually is gonna be, I'm gonna take inspiration from basically this picture. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna curl my hair using heated curlers and I'm gonna leave the ends straight. So this is my 36th hairstyle, opposite to what it says in here because I kind of jumped the gun. So I'm just gonna show you basically what I'm gonna be using. So I prepared this heated hair rollers and I'm gonna take hair section by section and I'm just gonna roll my hair and I'm just gonna leave the ends and I'm not gonna keep them too long so that it will give this kind of like loose wavy look rather than proper perfect curls. Honestly speaking, I love curls. I love curls. My mom, she has such a beautiful curly hair. She always did, and I just always dreamed for my hair to be really curly, but my hair was never curly. They were poker straight. They have slight natural bending now because I've been torturing them for years with the hair colors and stuff. But it naturally, when I was born and when I was teenager, it was just like this. You curl it and then 2 hours later it's just straight. So curls is kind of like my weakness. Curls is something that I wish I had, this full head full of curls, but curls is just not something I'm born with. I tried to do hair perm once. It didn't go well. It looked good for the first 3 months, but after that it was a pain of having to actually grow out of it. So it was then when I cut my hair in a so-called bob style, and that's why like now is the first time. Now last few years is the first time when I have my hair so long. Before that I was mainly keeping them either like this or kind of like mid-length, but now they are kind of like really long, even after hairdresser. Okay. So we're gonna start the process and I'm gonna show you how I am doing it. I am using different sizes because in that hair curling set you have large, medium, smaller and tiny ones. And I do my hair, I don't do it in the middle. I kind of like keep my hair a bit natural-ish because my hair likes separate itself like a bit like on the side. I like to keep it like that. So So I'm just gonna start from the front, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just naturally pick up this bit here because it's shorter, and I'm just gonna kind of roll it in a heated roller. And for this part of my hair, I'm gonna be using the smallest hair roller that we have. Actually, they feel quite hot, but they have a slight fluff on it. So when you use these heated hair rollers, they're not, you know, it's not like you using curling irons. Okay, and I'm just using, as long as I have few of those, it came with the set, and I'm using them mainly. And then after that, once I run out of those, I'm gonna be using these ones, but I prefer the grips. So what I've done here, I kind of left the end a little bit because I wanted this kind of like a half straightened look. And on this side, because it was not so much hair left, I will also use another roller. I'm using separate rollers because like that you can keep the parting in shape. If you use the same roller, you can still have that, but you're not gonna have your hair set in that position. So basically it's not gonna stay that well with the parting in here. So you best is to do parting wherever you want, in the middle, in the side, in whichever way you like, and then start rolling your hair after that. Unless you of course have your hair, you comb them up back like this, so then it's a little bit different. Okay, now next thing that I do, I kind of like divide them in parts roughly so I can feel how much of my hair I have. And then, so let's say now I'm just gonna take a section here, and I'm not gonna use like sections that are too small or too large. I'm taking kind of like medium size section, and I'm gonna be using for this medium size hair roller. So I'm leaving the end bit again. I'm not wrapping it. Normally I would be wrapping it in to start with, but I'm just basically rolling it, and I'm keeping it out like this. And then I'm just using hair grip. So basically that's the process, and I'm just going to repeat the process on the rest of my hair. Meanwhile, actually, if I find any tangled bits, I make sure I brush them, because once it's not very good to kind of like heat them, because then it kind of sets in that place. So it's best to untangle any tangly bits. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna switch back on. So this is the end result of the hair curl thing, and as you can see, I have like ends sticking out everywhere. So I on purpose left the ends. It's gonna give this kind of like a loose look. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna chill up until the time the hair rollers, ceramic in Lithuania we say keramica, but I think in here ceramic hair rollers are gonna cool down, and I will see you then. And I am back with, it looks like I actually left this, but hey, it's a loose hair kind of waves, so it should be fine, right? Okay, so now the process of undoing them, which is always my favorite part because it just feels so good to get all of this out. And I am a bit sad about thinking that I'm gonna have to make them straight, because it's kind of like trauma for me to, you know, like without ever being able to experience full proper kind of like curly hair. Once I have done it, kind of like half undo it myself. Why would I do that? Okay, that's because of the book. Anyways, so they are actually, I had these ceramic hair rollers for like over 10 years, and they are good because, well, okay, I suppose I don't really use them that often. I use them a few times per year. I don't use them really like often, but they're fine, you know, like there is nothing wrong with them. And I am not someone to kind of just buy, I don't see the need to buy new things just because the thing is new, if the old one works perfectly fine. So therefore I'm just kind of like using this old but good equipment. I'm actually starting to see some results already of my loose waves. So at the back I was mainly using these really large hair rollers because I didn't want it to be too curly, because the whole idea is to kind of have loose waves. So as you can see, as I'm kind of like, even as I'm taking it out, it already looks kind of like loose because the ends were straight. So lots of curliness in your hair looks curly because of the ends. Well, that's my theory, but I think, well, that's the right theory for me at least. So yeah, so look, so basically that kind of waves I'm getting. And what I'm gonna do once I'm gonna finish, I'm gonna spray it slightly, like really, really slightly, with not texture spray, but I'm gonna spray it with shine spray, or it's actually for skin, but I'm gonna just spray it because it has lots of vitamins. We have a chopper flying nearby, and it will give a little bit extra moisture for my hair, and it will make it a little bit looser. I don't even know if I need to make it much looser, but the style is supposed to be straightened waves. It's supposed to be with the hair straightener, and I think with this I'm getting similar effect. One thing that I do like about the hair rollers though, I don't know, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I like the fact that it kind of like, when you use hair rollers, it lifts your hair from the head slightly, so you get this kind of little bit more voluminous head full of hair like this. Okay, so I'm gonna go and get the spray, and okay, so I got the spray. It's actually called a Abyssian Oil Facial Activating Mist. I'm a bit suspicious that my skin is a bit allergic to it, so that's why I now don't use it on my face. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, okay, such a beautiful curls. Anyways, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, so as you can see, like these waves are really pretty, but it looks kind of like very doll-like, I guess. It's probably because I have also a bit of a baby face. How do I know this? This application, they said, discover the face shape which is most suitable for you, and they kind of scanned my face and they say your face type is baby face. So yeah, so if I want to look more edgy, I guess, I make these curls a little bit more undone. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna basically spray. Just it's not to make it wet, it's not to make it straight, but it's just to give a little bit moisture, so it actually, I can have this a little bit half undone curls look. Just like a little bit undone, right? Okay, so I think this side is a little bit too curly for straightened waves. Well, to be honest, actually I used at the front the most tiny curlers, so that's why I think it's like that, but overall it's like this. Okay, so this is the hairstyle, straightened waves, and I completely didn't follow instructions. I just did it my way, and it looks actually pretty natural. It doesn't look curly, you know, like over curly, so it's kind of like a half straight, but I like this kind of look. It's very kind of like, you can use it, I think, for both, for casual look or if you need to dress up, depends on your hair. Okay, mood diary. I feel very excited today. I also feel a bit hyper because yesterday I actually drove back from Luton airport all the way to the south, and I got back home around 10, and because it was such a long time since I drove, I was like really kind of focusing and concentrating, so I didn't feel as relaxed as I would have felt, or I was in the past when I was driving constantly around London. But interesting thing is, so even though it was a long time since I actually drove, and it was the first time I was driving that car, once I got in the car and I kind of learned how the gears work, how, you know, where the window wipers, where the lights, I adjusted the mirrors, I was fine. I actually felt much more relaxed than I thought I will, because I think in UK I have been driving probably around 10 years, like almost every day, and you know, like that kind of experience, even if you don't do it, it doesn't disappear. They say, you know, your body has memories, your muscle has memories, you know, like you have memory, your body has memory, so these things never disappear. They kind of can become a little bit forgotten, but they don't really disappear. So I was anxious, and then this kind of anxiety really went away pretty soon, as soon as I started driving. So I think that's one of most useful lessons which I learned this year, in the last half year, let's say, which I didn't know before. Because at the beginning, okay, first stage was doing, not dealing with emotional problems. Then it was like only dealing with emotional problems, and now is the final stage. I don't know, maybe there are other stages after, where you, by doing it, you do both, but you do it, and sometimes you integrate some things while you are doing those things. So that was actually a good experience for me. And many things that I became confident about this year. So I was working on my confidence ever since I was in my 20s, because at one point I had really low self-esteem, and I was using like self-hypnosis, meditations and things like that, and actually that changed lots of things. But you know, like, it's never too late, or it's never a bad idea to find another aspect or another way to kind of like strengthen it, like self-worth, self-value, self-belief, confidence. And this kind of new way of doing it was through the action. So I think the formula for doing that in the right way is like, as long as you're not trying to escape something by doing the thing, you actually grow a lot while you doing the thing, right? So for example, if you have a fear, sometimes you have some internal fear, and not to feel it, you do many things. That's kind of escapism. Then another thing is like, okay, you have fear of doing it, and you just like work internally on that fear, you work it, and then you find another fear, and then you find another anxiety, and you have another thing, and then you find another thing. So you keep on finding things, and you never end up doing anything. So I think I was kind of a little bit in that phase, but I think it was actually also a necessary phase, because I was learning a lot when I was doing lots of internal work. But I think now it's new stage opening up, where I've been doing things, then I've been learning and thinking things, and now I'm doing both. So I think it's kind of like perfect trinity. Yeah, so I wanted to encourage you. If there was something that you've done some time ago and you really loved it, and now you're not doing it because you think like, I don't know, I've forgotten, it's been such a long time, and whatever that is, playing a song with the instrument, painting, dancing, cooking, making a cake. For me it was driving, because I used to love driving. I still love driving. I think I'll always love driving. Anyways, I invite you to revisit that passion and kind of reconnect with it, because it doesn't really go anywhere. It's actually always there. It's just that I think, you know, the clothes that we don't use to, we put at the back of the wardrobe, and the same happens with the skills and things that we don't use. But they're there, they don't disappear. So yeah, so that's that. And I say my mood right now is 9 out of 10. I don't know why I feel so good. Well, probably it's normal. I probably also feel sense of achievement after doing that. So, okay, well, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope today that you're gonna have a wonderful Thursday evening, and just trust yourself that you remember the things that you loved and they don't go anywhere. Thank you. Goodbye.